Can you imagine a church absolutely full on a Wednesday night prayer meeting? Amazing. The pastor explains that his people come in faith, confident that their prayers will be answered. Community prayer is something special, bringing believers together to pray powerfully. One of my future videos will be talking about that special community prayer. But today, let's look at what we can learn about expectations in answered prayer. James tells us in 4:2, you do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly to spend on your own passions. There's some key things going on in this verse for us to learn about prayer. It's important to ask, but it's also important to ask correctly. Spurgeon comments, we might state it as a virtual spiritual law that God does not give unless we ask. If we possess little of God and his kingdom, almost certainly we have asked little. That is such a great reminder of the power of prayer. God does want to give. He wants to be a generous giver. What do we need? We need a mouth to ask, and we need a heart that is humble and willing to ask according to his will. Faith is key. We need to pray with the expectation that God will answer our prayers. But we cannot be coming to God like a grocery list or demanding that he does it things our way. No, we have to come with a humble heart. Notice in this verse, it says we do not have because we ask wrongly. It's the idea that we are going to spend on our own desires. That word spend is the same verb that is used in Luke, where the prodigal son story is given. And the prodigal son takes his inheritance and goes off and spends selfishly on his own evil desires. 1 John 5:14 through 15. And this is the confidence that we have toward him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us in whatever we ask, we know that we have the request that we have asked of him. If we know that we are praying God's will, we can have confidence that he hears and answers. And how do we know what God's will is? We use the Bible to guide us. David Gussick comments, God would have us ask anything in prayer, not to imply that anything we ask for will be granted, but anything in the sense that we can and should pray about everything. God cares about our whole life, and nothing is too small or too big to pray about. As I write down my prayer requests, I can check them off and see how God is answered. I was looking through one of my prayer journals, and I saw all the different things that I had prayed about for a long time. And I noticed all the hundreds of checks beside answered prayers. Doesn't that encourage you? Don't you want to seize the day and get out there and pray?